Back at it again. Subscribe to the fl0m Clips and Highlights channel. Thank you. You look great. Broky at 8. This is a prime example, though, of like recency bias and how I definitely like question HLTV's rankings at times. I do. But also for stuff like this, I think it's important to have them because I think it's just so hard to remember the start of the year. The MVP carried him. Yeah, but like that's also the one win that FaZe got, right? Like I wouldn't have probably guessed Broky was at 8 and I wouldn't have probably put him this high, let alone my favorite number. But it is important though to not completely overlook how impactful he was at the start of the year. I do, like I said, the second half of the year, he started to pick up again, but that middle period was like real rough for him and all of FaZe for that matter. So it's kind of like this, when FaZe kicked it into gear, he's one of the best players on FaZe, if not the best or most impactful. And then when the whole team sucked, he sucked again too. And then when they made a run, sure, Rops was definitely the hero of the major, but like Broky has been, dude, he's one of the most successful like look at what he's actually really good at, right? He trades, he clutches, he gets openers, and he plays pretty fucking well. That's number 8 on all players, by the way. So in big matches, he's one of the best players in the entire world. This guy clutches, trades, gets openings, and is one of the best players in the entire world in the brightest moments. That's why I think that's what is carrying him to 8th. And I don't know if I can disagree with it. Like I said, I have to be honest, I wouldn't have put him this high, but that doesn't make it like wrong either. HLTV seems to be following the same formula, which is like MVPs in big time matches. And that's fine. Like, at least I think they're at least being consistent with it. I had him at 10. Yeah. I think at the end of it, like I said, and if anybody's watched a FaZe game, he's probably their biggest X factor now that Twist is gone. Like, I mean, like in moment, like situational moments in a game. He is like, he's the wild card of FaZe. He's the guy that does some shit that looks really dumb or really good. Nah, Frozen's calculated as fuck. He's quite literally lives to his name. He's cold. Not saying other players on all the FaZe players have insane moments, but I mean like Broky literally does dumb shit. But like it usually works out for him. So I don't know. He's a hard one to place. He's a hard one to place. I personally probably wouldn't have had him this high, but I think HLTV is at least being consistent with how they're valuing players in the top 20. I don't know if I fully agree with it, but that like I at least can appreciate what I think. It looks like consistency from their end. They put the 8th best player in arena matches and the 7th best player in big matches at number 8. And the player that has the 3rd most amount of clutches in the entire scene, one of the best openers in the game, and he's one of the best traders. And best pistolers and best flashers. Holy fuck. I just it's like those are like, I mean, dude, it's good. Those are some nice numbers to have. You know what I mean? So at least I think they're being consistent in that way. I will say this, he's fun as hell to watch. He's fun as hell. He's fun as hell to watch. I will give him that any day of the week. This bro is he's so great for FaZe because dude has literally, this is his face 99% of the time, but then you get this version of Broky like 1% of the time, and you'll never forget a double bird from Broky after farming Liquid on Mirage. Well, at least I don't think anybody's predicted this guy yet. So at least we have a new one. So he's a rifler for Navi Jr. Cool. This kid's cracked. Let me see the stats that they really like harped on. Let's see. Yeah, Katowice, where yeah. I mean, yeah, he had a bad major though in comparison. Like I said, but his look at his PGL major, look at his Chengdu, and look at his Pro League. I mean, dude, even his fall like Spirit made him go from a 1.2 rating to 1.07. Yeah, Spirit does that to people. Anyway, I think that wraps it up for me. I don't think I would have put him that high, but I think HLTV is at least using the same metric for everybody. Like they're being relatively consistent in how they're ranking people. So really, if we're trying to predict the top 20 of next year, guys, I think like if you want, because for those of you that don't know, you can win skins and shit for predicting the top 20 of HLTV. I would highly recommend rating in arena matches and big matches seem to be their biggest metric that they're using. Broky won't be anywhere near the inside top 20. If you're going to quote me, at least like quote me right. I didn't think he'd be top 20, to be honest with you. But like I said, when we started the reaction video, I wouldn't have put him at 8. No way. I could see it. I thought he'd be like 19, 20, but also I can admit that I barely remember these at the start. That's quite literally like the first 3 or 4 events of the year. To be fair, I didn't think he touched top 20 either. I thought he's like fringe, but it's like it's hard to, like I said, the hardest part about HLTV top 20 is remembering the first half of the year. And I mean in like real context. Like I'm pretty sure part of broky too, why he got the EVP for Katowice is I think he had like some insane clutch rounds. I can't even remember what they were, but I feel like I remember that, like just that he had some wicked clutches, and that's why he was so highly regarded. But yeah, it's a bunch of weird shit like that. It's hard to remember, man.